Hello viewers, and welcome to yet another very special video production. My name is Mitch, and I am the Hive Tyrant. I'm making this special, very short video this evening to cover a late-breaking spoiler from our upcoming Deluxe Expansion, the Great Devourer. Scott and Brian from the First Planet podcast held an interview with lead developer of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest, Brad Andrees, in their recent episode 15, in which they unveiled yet another one of our upcoming Tyranid cards. And seeing as how Tyranids are this channel's specialty, I thought I'd quickly cobble this video together and share with you some of my excitement about this new card. It is the 2-cost army unit, the Toxic Venomthrope, with 2 command icons, 0 attack value, 2 hit points, the creature and kraken traits, and reaction. After you win a command struggle at this planet, infest it. If it was already infested, either gain 1 resource token or draw 1 card instead of infesting it. So, on the tabletop game, Venomthropes are elite units with very limited offensive abilities. In the lore, they drip with venom, they exude all sorts of nasty toxic miasma, poison toxins. In fact, the cloud of toxic, virulent, and disgusting spores exuded by a Venomthrope are so thick that a single Venomthrope actually confers an enhanced cover save on other nearby Tyranid units. They're called Venomthropes for a reason. They're basically disgusting, vile, poisonous creatures that just exude massive clouds of toxic spores and clouds that paralyze, that infest, that infect, that spread disease and contagion, and are all in all just disgusting. They have enormous air bladders that essentially help them to be lighter than air, and they literally drag or pull themselves about, even though they are so light, with their whip-like, poisonous, dripping tentacles. They're overall just absolutely disgusting creatures. They aren't much good in combat situations on the tabletop, and we see that very much represented in this card as well, seeing it has that 0 attack value. Thus far, we haven't really seen anything to build up the Tyranid economy, and as Brad mentioned on that podcast, this is very much the Tyranid version of so many other command icon heavy cards that we've seen. I think it's very important to note that throughout our core set and the entire Warlord cycle of war packs, we've only seen a grand total of 8 other army units with 2 command icons that have a resource cost less than 3. And the only one that really comes close to capturing what this Toxic Venomthrope is all about is the Eldar Survivalist, in that when that unit wins a command struggle, you end up generating an additional card and an additional resource. We saw in the reveal article for the Great Devourer 2 different cards that take advantage of the infestation mechanic, but we don't have a great grasp on what that does yet. All we know for certain is that this Venomthrope, once you are able to successfully infest a planet, can do wonders for generating additional resources to accelerate your economy or to provide card advantage depending on what exactly you need at that moment. So I very much like this unit's inherent flexibility. Again, it's essentially worthless in combat, but that 2 HP value allows it to survive a small amount of damage, even without having to use any sort of shield cards, so we don't know much about this ability. We don't know anything as to whether or not there's going to be synergy with the creature trait or the Hive Fleet Kraken trait. and with only 2 exceptions, we have no idea just how beneficial infesting planets is going to be. We've seen the event Spore Burst that allows us to save resources by initiating a recursive effect, bringing some sort of army unit back from our discard pile directly into play at an infested planet. And we've seen some awesome mobility effects in the form of hunter gargoyles that have a combat action that allows them to move to an infested planet once per phase from anywhere on the game board. But really, all there is left to say about the Venomthrope is I'm very excited to see what else comes out of that big box expansion. I think it's going to be a fantastic unit to deploy at one of the later planets in the game, just so that once you establish that infestation, it sticks around for as long as possible, considering the first planet is going to be leaving play at the end of each and every round, so I'm as excited for Tyranids as ever. I think the art on this card is absolutely fantastic. It's always nice to see a member of the ancient, wizened, and endangered Eldar race about to get torn to bits, so I could scarcely be any more excited for our upcoming expansion than I already am. So, I'll just end this video by saying thank you once again to Scott and Brian from the First Planet podcast, and of course to Brad Andrews for being willing to not only give that interview, but also bring a fantastic Tyranid spoiler with him. So, as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.